My name is Jenny Harden. I'm conducting this interview on behalf of Unity Hospice. Today we are interviewing Ronald Heckman. The date is June 26, 2017, and this interview is being conducted in Lena, Illinois. The purpose of this interview is to record the veteran experience of Ronald Heckman for the Veterans History Project. Please tell us your full name.
Ronald E. Heckman.
Okay. And your date of birth.
5/3/31.
Okay. What branch of service were you in?
The Air Force.
What was the highest rank that you attained?
I was Staff Sergeant.
Okay. In what war or conflict were you involved with?
The Korean War.
Okay.
Yes.
So Ron, tell me a little bit about where you were born.
I was born in Lanark, Illinois, a
Okay.
farm a little south of Lanark, and I lived there for 22 years, then I joined the Air Force.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what were the names of your parents?
My dad's name was Robert Frank Heckman, and my mother was Zella Mabel Heckman.
Oh, I like that name.
Yeah.
That's a nice name.
Yeah.
What did they do for a living?
They farmed. We farmed. They farmed there for 40 years.
Okay. What kind of farming did they do?
We had dairy cattle. We started with dairy cattle and hogs. In 1950, we went to beef cattle and hogs.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. What about brothers and sisters?
I have two brothers and two sisters.
Okay.
The oldest brother, he passed away here a few years ago, and then I'm number two, and number three was Phyllis, and she passed away here a few years ago too,
Okay.
2006. And then there is John. He's living in Mount Carroll. And then there's my younger sister, Patsy. She lives in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Did any of them join the military as well?
No,
No, you were the only one?
I was the only one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you were doing before the service. You went to school,
Well, I graduated from high school in 1949, and at that whole time I worked on the farm while I was going through high school and grade school.
Okay.
And in fact, I went to country school, one-room schoolhouse for 6 years before we went to Lanark grade school. Yeah,
Okay.
that was amazing. One-room schoolhouse, and the teacher had all the different grades all at the same time.
What were the grade levels that were all together?
They went from 1 to 8.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 to 8. It may not. There may be some years or some grades they didn't have.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any kids, but there was 4 or 5 every year.
That's pretty
Yeah.
neat.
And then, what was the question again here?
What you did, so then you went to high school?
Well, I went to high school in Lanark, and then I worked on the farm. Then I graduated in 1949. Then I stayed and worked with my dad on the farm.
Okay.
So I joined the Air Force when I was 22 years old.
When did you join the Air Force? What year was that?
1952.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And how long did you serve?
A little over 9 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, 9 years.
Wonderful. Okay, so you were in the Air Force. What made you choose Air Force?
Well, I didn't want the Army, and I didn't want the Marines. I wanted to work in probably some technical school, so I
Okay.
decided to go with the Air Force. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And what did your mom and dad then think when you went and told them you wanted to join the military? What did they think?
Well, it didn't happen that way. I joined the military, and they didn't know nothing about it.
Oh.
I did something I shouldn't have done. I didn't tell them. I went to Chicago. They put me on a train to San Antonio, Texas, and I got down there. It was 3 days later before I wrote them a letter and told them that I had joined the Air Force. I shouldn't have done that, but I did.
What was their reaction?
Oh, well, they were happy for me when they found out I was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went home, they were happy that I was in the service, and
Oh my
so,
gosh.
my brothers are home to take care of the farm, help him.
Yeah.
So I was no problem there.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's something.
I shouldn't probably tell that to everybody.
No, that's good. That's part of your history. That's part of your story. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So is that where you went to training then in Texas?
Yeah, San Antonio.
Okay.
Basic training.
Do
yes,
you
yeah.
remember the day that you left for basic training? The day that you got there?
September the 24th. I left
remember.
and probably got there about the 26th. We
Okay.
took a train down there. Yes,
Yeah. So what was it like when you first got there? What were your feelings? Were you nervous? Were you excited? What was your feeling?
No, I was excited. You know, I'm looking for something new here, something I think I'm going to like the Air Force. I really like the Air Force. And we went into basic training. We had a lot of classroom work. a lot of drilling. Well, I just love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so basic training would be where you learn to shoot a weapon and everything else.
We did weapon shooting there, and one thing we were supposed to camp out for a week. Well, it rained that week, so that was canceled. It was like a bunch of sissies.
Right. Can't camp if it's raining, right?
Yeah, so they canceled that. But anyway, I love basic training.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I used to do, we had about 60 people in the barracks, 60 guys.
Okay.
Upstairs and downstairs in bunks. Well, at 5 o'clock in the morning when Beverly went off, everybody raced to the bathroom. There wasn't enough sinks, there wasn't enough everything to do.
Right.
So I'd get up at 4 o'clock, I'd go out, I'd take my shower, get all ready to go, come back, and I'll be sitting there at 5 o'clock when they vote regularly, and everybody takes off.
Right.
I didn't have to worry about it.
And you were already ready to go.
I love that, yeah.
So what was the feeling in the barracks living with that many guys? Did everybody get along for the most part? Was there fights? What was it like?
I really didn't see any fights, probably arguments, but basically get along pretty good together.
Yeah?
I'm surprised.
That's
yes.
good. Did you make some good friends during training?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I really don't remember. I don't have any doings with those people now.
Okay.
But I did there for a long time.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
wonderful. That's
you kind of get busy, you kind of forget about it, and that's just the way it is.
Life goes on, right?
And life goes on.
So then, what was your job in the Air Force? What job were you assigned?
Well, I first went to Denver, Colorado in 1954. Or 1953, and went to munitions school. And then I stayed there as an instructor, which I loved. Well, then about 6 months later, they sent all of us instructors over to Korea for a year. And I worked in the munitions area over there too, in Korea. And then when we come back, we went to Omaha, Nebraska, which is SAC headquarters, and that's where I met Mary, and we got married September the 8th, 1955.
Right.
And we're going on 62 years now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
wonderful. And so we lived there, we stayed there for probably 2 years, and then in 1956, we went to England for 3 years. At the time, we thought it was a fantastic trip,
Yeah.
And we met a lot of nice people over there. And I was in special weapons, which we loaded nuclear weapons on aircraft. The real thing.
Right.
We loaded on B-47s over there in England.
Right.
One weapon to an aircraft. And it was on standby. We had certain number of weapons or planes on standby all the time.
Right.
Yeah, in case of war. Well, then we were there 3 years, and then we came back to Beale Air Force Base in California, which was a wonderful throw out there in California.
Yeah.
And there we loaded on B-52 aircraft out there, and we loaded up to 2 weapons at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. Now they load many, many more. They're so much smaller,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And we had what we called the front rail, and that's where we had 2 B-52s in the air 24 hours a day. That was in case of war, they would destroy all of our aircraft on the ground. We'd have some in the air which they couldn't get to.
Oh, okay.
So 2 more would take off, and then they would land. We'd have to download them. It took about an hour and a half to load the nuclear weapon on board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was really interesting.
It sounds very interesting. Let's back it up to, you were in Texas, and then where did you go from Texas?
To Denver, Colorado, our Air Force Base in Denver,
Okay,
Colorado.
all right. And what did you do there? Was that more training, or was that?
That was training. That was a munitions training school.
Okay.
And then I stayed as an instructor there.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed that too.
How long did you do the instructor?
About 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then where did you go from there?
Then they sent us to England from there.
Okay, from England from there.
Yeah.
So you.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They sent me to Korea from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about Korea. What was it like when you landed in Korea?
Korea. We went into Yokohama, Japan. We took over. Wasn't a cruise ship. It was a troop ship. And that's the reason I don't like water today. I would never take a cruise. We hit some storms out there on there. I'm telling you that it was just terrible.
Yeah.
People were vomiting all over the place. The dishes and everything were just all over the floor. It was terrible.
Right.
But anyway, so we went into Yokohama, Japan, and the country's got different odor over there. really a different odor, you know, which isn't that bad. But then we flew over to Korea in the C-47. And the country was in an uproar at that time, you know. There was people, there was homeless people,
Yeah.
no jobs, and, you know, it was terrible.
What was it like to see all that?
It wasn't good after being, you know, living in the States all
Yeah.
my life. Yeah, I really felt sorry for the people.
Yeah,
Really
I
did.
can imagine.
But I think it's a lot different now, you know, after, you know, 50, 60 years,
Yeah.
it's a different situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were in Korea, did you get to do any maybe sightseeing? Did you get to go and see kind of like off time? What kind of things?
We went to Seoul quite often.
Okay.
Oh, one thing about going to Seoul, we got real milkshakes there. At the base, we had powdered milk, you know.
Right.
But there we could get real milkshake.
So that was a treat for you, huh?
That was a treat.
That was a
and
treat.
then I was a projectionist at the theater there too.
Oh, you were?
Yes, and then they would take a T6, which is a training plane. They put me in there and fly me to Seoul. We were at K-47. We were probably a couple hundred miles away.
Yeah.
They'd fly me down, pick up the film. I'd put it in the plane, bring it back, and show it on the film. Yeah.
Wow.
I enjoy doing that. Yeah.
That's different. I don't think I've met anybody that's done that during their service time. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I enjoy doing that. Yeah.
And were the movies shown just for the troops? Or
Yeah,
was it?
that's for all the troops.
Okay.
When they go see it.
All right.
You know, we
That's
had
neat.
Doris Day. We had all the good movies. You know,
Right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty neat.
That
That's
really was neat. Yeah.
And did you make some good friends then while you were in Korea?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of them, when we came back, they were at Omaha too. So,
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you were in Korea. Did you do any fighting when you were in Korea?
No, I went over in 1954, and the war ended in 1953. Yeah.
Okay. So you were kind of got the aftermath
It was
of it
a
all.
police action. Yeah,
Okay.
Still police. They call it a police action, but it was really a war. you know,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then where did you go from Korea?
And then we went back to Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
SAC headquarters.
All right.
And that's where I met Mary.
That's
Yeah.
where you met Mary.
Yeah.
Tell me about your first meeting with Mary.
Well, we went out on a blind date, and well, she didn't want to go, and so I stuck my head in and said, "You better come, or I'm going to come in there and get you." Well, she decided to go,
Aw.
so we fell in love and we got married. Yeah.
Yeah. And how many kids do you have?
We have 5 children.
That's
Uh-huh.
wonderful.
We have 4 girls and 1 boy.
Did any of them join the military?
No,
Okay.
no. We have 2 of them that are nurses, though,
Yeah.
and one's a school teacher, and one's going to retire from UPS in Rockford here this July the 6th.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And my son, he works at Honeywell in Freeport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And what about grandkids? Any of them in the military?
No.
No.
No, not yet. No.
Not yet.
I don't think so. We got about 15 grandchildren.
Yeah.
uh,
That's wonderful.
We got a lot of great grandchildren now too.
Yeah. What was it like to adapt, going from being a civilian, farming, living your life to being part of the military? Was that rough for you to adapt to all that, or?
Not really.
No?
No. That was easy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I know you talked about witnessing kind of the aftermath of stuff. What did that do to you inside? What did you think? What did you feel witnessing with the war being over and now you're walking in afterwards? I mean, did you have any interactions with any of the people over there, or?
Yeah, you do. But of course, the people that were the South Koreans. They weren't the North Koreans, of course. And but they were glad it's all over. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely glad it's over.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
When you were in Korea or in England, how did you keep in touch with your family?
Well, mostly we didn't really have all the phones then, but we by letters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they forgave you for just ditching town and joining the military?
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah,
Good.
they really
Good.
did. Yes, yeah.
That's good.
In
That's
fact,
good.
we were out in Denver. My folks, mother and father, would come out and visit us out there. They loved it out there in
Yeah.
the West. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So tell me some of your experiences in the military. Tell me some of your stories. Things you did, things you...
Well, in Korea, our job was, of course, the war was over, but we had to practice. We had to load 2.5 rockets, smoke rockets, onto T-6s, which is a trainer plane. The jets were too fast to come in and spot a target.
Yeah.
So these smaller planes, slow moving planes, would come in and fire these rockets, smoke rockets, and that'd be a signal for the jet to come down and bomb or whatever they had to do.
Right.
And that worked out pretty good that way.
That was probably pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. I was looking at the Korean magazine. I forget what it's called, but anyway, they're here. And I saw this story from a veteran in there that he was at the Mosquito Squadron in Korea. That's the same squadron I was in.
Mosquito
They
Squadron?
called the Mosquito.
Okay.
Called the Mosquito Squadron. So I took a picture that I had with a picture with a sign on Mosquito Squadron, and I sent it to him, wrote him a letter. And I never heard from him. So I called him up and I got his phone number, called him up. He said, well, he said, I really can't write too much anymore, but he said, I certainly appreciate what you sent me.
Oh.
And he was doing the same thing I would have done if I was over there during the war.
Yeah.
It's kinda
That's neat sometimes to reconnect with people who were part of the same group
It
as
is.
you
I
were.
talked to him for quite a while, and he was a real nice gentleman.
Yeah, yeah. Do you still talk to him?
No.
No.
I don't. He probably pays. He was quite sick, so he's probably passed on by this time.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. What other cool adventures did you have? What other kind of things did you do?
Well, the job we had, we did a lot of sightseeing in England. We went to London and all that sort of thing.
Where was your favorite place that you went?
Oh, probably the square there in London.
Yeah.
That I can't remember what it's called now.
That's all right. What did you like about it? Describe it to me.
It was large, had a lot of statues and that sort of thing. People just congregated around there.
Yeah.
And, I can't think of it, but anyway.
That's all right.
It was nice, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Where else did you go?
Well, we come back to Colorado. No, we come back to Omaha, and then we went to England. We come back, and then we went to Buell Air Force Base in
Okay.
California. That was a beautiful base.
Was it?
That was nice country, nice temperature all the time.
Yeah.
And they had this 1950 Pontiac Chieftain, and this guy wanted to sell us. I bought it from him, and then we brought that home with us.
Yeah.
When it got out of the service. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What
That
color was it?
It was a brown.
It was brown?
The metallic brown. It was
All
pretty
right.
great. Yeah. I should
Nice.
have kept that. That'd be worth a lot of money nowadays. Yeah.
So what was it like being in the military and raising a family?
Well, it was kind of hard because in my job of loading, we could load. They'd call us any time of day or night. You didn't have any regular hours.
Right.
And you go, you do your job, you go home, they call you again, you go out and do your job. So that was kind of hard on Mary and the kids and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but we got through it okay.
Yeah.
We got
Well,
through-
61, 62 years later, you got through it okay.
We got through it okay. Yes, we
That's
did.
wonderful. And was it, what was it like dating a female in the military?
I thought it was super.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did your buddies think?
Well, they didn't say too much about
No.
it. No. I thought it was a super.
Yeah. What drew you to marry?
Pardon?
What drew you to marry? What made you want to go with her?
She was pretty and smart, and so I thought, well, this is for me, So
Yeah.
so we did, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So, you joined the military after the war had ended, correct?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So, when the war ended, what did you think? What did you feel? You still weren't in the military. Did that inspire you more to want to join, or?
Well, I went in 52, and war was over in 53.
Sure.
So there was a year.
What did you think when you got the news that the war was over?
Oh, I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
No more killing, no more wounded, and all that sort of
Yeah.
thing. That was terrific. Yeah.
Right.
And then we get into what we have now with Afghanistan, and
Yeah.
it's just terrible.
What are your thoughts and feelings about that? About current military and Afghanistan and Russia and everything going on?
We're never going to win in Afghanistan. The Russians tried it here a few years ago. They failed. Everybody else has failed. But, it's not really doing any good. I think ISIS is going to have to go. I think there's no question about that. But how many men are we going to lose to do that,
Right.
So, Well, I realize that they're in kind of a management type thing now to get their people, you know, to support their cause.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. So when you got out of the military, was it an adjustment period for you going back to civilian life?
Not really.
No. What did you
No.
do when you got out?
I went back to the same farm that I left.
Nice.
And working with my dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I really enjoyed that. And Mary enjoyed that. We had, at that time, our 5th child was born there.
And that was in Lanark?
We had, yeah, Lanark.
Okay.
We had two girls born in England, one born in Omaha, Nebraska, probably the oldest one, and then Steve was born in California, and then Tracy was born at FHN in Freeport.
All right.
Yeah.
All over the place.
All over
Having
the place.
babies all over the place.
What's interesting, when Bonnie was born, the cost for me, for everything in the hospital was $7 or something. That was Mary's meals. And in England it was $5. That was for meals too, so it was pretty reasonable, yeah.
That was good military coverage, huh?
You better believe it, yeah. And we get that today too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes,
That's great.
it is.
Are you a member right now of any veteran organizations or
Yes.
groups?
I belong to the American Legion 379 post in Shannon.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I've been there for probably 20 years.
Are
so.
you active with them? Do you go to meetings or do you
Well,
meet up with them?
I
or-
haven't been lately because I've been diagnosed with melanoma skin cancer.
Oh, okay.
And had 2 operations up here. It was on my brain last August the 10th. I did that high radiation on my brain up here. So far everything looks good.
Good.
I go in every 3 months for MRI. I go in the 11th of this month for another MRI and CT
Okay.
to keep track of it. So,
Okay.
So, but anyway, I think we've got it in remission now. So
Wonderful.
looks
I'm
pretty
happy to
good.
hear that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. And I know I asked you this. I know you couldn't remember. Do you keep in contact right now with anybody from your military time?
No, not
No.
really. No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So then you got out of the military and you went back to farming,
Back to
right?
farming, yeah.
Okay. And then what'd you guys do from there?
Well, we was there 3 years, and Dad wanted to sell the farm. So
Oh, okay.
that's fine. So I went to driving a truck. I drove a feed truck for a year, and then I hired over into Admiral Corporation. They were in Dixon, which is Dixon, Illinois.
Uh-huh.
And I worked there for probably a year and a half. Then I went to Microswitch and got a job up there. I started there in 1968. I worked 25 years there at
Wow.
Microswitch.
So you retired from there?
I retired from there.
Yeah. All
In
right.
fact, I've been retired 24 years this past May.
Wow.
I
Wow.
think that's fantastic.
Have you and Mary gone back at all to England or have you gone back to anywhere where you were?
No.
No.
Oh, we've been through Omaha, but we have not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But nothing overseas. No, I wouldn't go overseas now for love nor money. I wouldn't leave this country
Yeah.
with all the stuff.
You're not
going
guaranteed to come back.
on. That's absolutely correct.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what do you think serving in the military 8 or 9 years, how did that time affect your life now? How do you feel you learned a lot from there that you brought into your life? How did your time during that?
I think we did learn a lot, and I think it brought into our life. It made me prouder to be a part of this country. You know,
Yeah.
being in the service. The Mary's the same way, and we really liked the service, and we both did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
We both got good conduct medals, you know, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I just love to serve, and when we was in Freeport, I put a flag up. I put that flag every day of the year.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I can tell you guys are very patriotic.
I am very patriotic.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so like I had told you, this video is going to go into the Library of Congress, so you officially become part of history. So there's going to be future generations, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years, looking back because they want to hear stories of people that were involved during the Korean War. What words of wisdom do you have for future generations that are watching this right now and listening to you? What words of wisdom do you have for them?
Well, get peace in this world if you can. You know, all we do is fight. You know, one thing I like, remember not George Goebel, but John Denver in God, Oh God. and old God was talking to John Deere in the bathroom, and John said, or God said to John, why do you have all this suffering in this world? Why do you leave that go on? He said, I give you a perfect world. He said, you people are the ones responsible. I have nothing to do with it. And
Right.
that was just right. And too bad we can't have peace. I like to have peace in this world
Yeah.
where everybody can get along. There's no more killing and all that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
may never see it, but we should strive for it
Right.
anyway. Yeah.
And your great 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 grandson or daughter that's watching this, what do you want to say to them?
Well, you know, nowadays I hear people don't care if they get to work on time and that sort of thing, but that's to me the most important thing. When I worked at Honeywell or anywhere I worked, I always got there early, 15, maybe 30 minutes early, instead of trying to be there the last minute, you know.
Right.
Because if you got a job, you've got to do it. You got to do it right. You give 110% to your job all the time,
Yeah.
and you're on time all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. So, what else, Ron, have we not covered? What other stories can you think of? Any other experiences? Anything you want to share? Thoughts or feelings?
I'm trying to think of some of them now, but
You want to go through your honor flight stuff?
oh yes, yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the honor flight, and then you can pick some of your favorite pictures, and we'll show them.
The honor flight in 2012. We went to an organizational meeting in Rock Falls, and they said the veterans that were going to go from the Quad Cities to Washington, D.C. So Mary and I, we both signed up for it. And we left in May the 22nd, 2012. And then, there's a picture that I sent that gentleman. His home of the mosquitoes.
Oh yeah, let me show that.
Yeah, that's just home of the, and the other place.
That's the picture that you sent to that gentleman?
That's the picture I sent to the gentleman, yes,
Look at that handsome guy in that picture.
Yeah, and that was in K-47. The other picture is K-55 at just a different location.
Oh, okay.
In Korea, yeah.
Okay.
So our daughter put this together after we made the trip, and that was the most wonderful trip we've ever had.
Yeah.
It was a one-day trip. We left at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and we got in Washington about 8 o'clock, and the bus is over to it, and then we seen all the memorials. We went to the Air Museum first, then we went to the World War II, we saw the Korean, we saw the Vietnam, and then we watched Changing of the Guard.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
I bet.
You know, and you look over and you see all the gravestones or the crosses. I mean, hundreds of acres, nothing but crosses. You know,
Right.
it's really sad.
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
tell me, is there pictures in there you want me to show? Do you have some favorite memorials you saw, or pictures of you and Mary?
Yeah, here. Oh, yeah. Oh, here. I'm gonna show. This is a picture on our 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah, on our 50th. Yeah. And then, of course, 60th was about 2 years ago, and that was wonderful too.
Yeah.
But we had pictures in here of our daughter, Carrie Hickson, put this together here. Oh,
And
then,
who went with you on the honor flight? Who
Right.
were your chaperones or your supporters that went with?
Oh, Terry, my daughter, and Steve, my son.
All right.
Yeah, there's our entire family right
That's your
here.
whole family
That's
from
all-
2006.
That was in 2006, yeah. There's Bonnie, Teresa, Terry, and Steve, and then Tracy. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a great picture.
But Terry put this together, and this is such a wonderful job. The
That
paper,
is-
it was a big article in the paper, Freeport paper about this.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
and
That's
that's
wonderful.
right at the beginning.
So what was your favorite part? Here, let me show us the camera. What was your favorite part of the honor flight? What was the part that meant the most to you?
Probably seeing the World War II and the Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah, since I was in the Korean War and of
Right.
course, and followed all the World War II, I
Right.
think that was probably the most.
Yeah.
And that was sad, you know. We had a soldier killed from Shannon. We lived there, and we found his name on the.
Did you?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, and then this here is, we had a dinner before the flight.
Uh-huh.
And it was the most beautiful dinner, and this was the centerpiece. Mary was the only girl there, she got the centerpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was so
That's
wonderful.
amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah. There's so many different pictures in here, I hate to, I know it's hard to.
Yeah, that's all right. No, that's all right.
Oh, okay. And this is Mary. They don't have, they have the memorial, they have their names on the computer.
Right.
And she found her name.
She found her name.
Yeah, on the computer, yes, yeah. And on the flight, we were the only wife and husband on the flight. There isn't that many anymore. And so.
That's got to make you two feel proud, huh?
Yeah, and instead we could both go together, it was just
right.
It was just fantastic. I get tears in my eyes. I'm looking at Sylvia.
Yeah. That's, I mean, that's it's called the honor flight for a reason,
Yes, it is.
It's an honor to be able to partake in that.
But the Korean memorial with all the statues, that's really something to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that with all the life-size statues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Here they are. Here we are. Right here. Let me get this. Yeah. Oh, here we are.
There it is.
There's the statues right there, Mary and I.
This is the same picture she showed me too. Yeah, you guys think alike. I guess that's what 62 years does, huh?
Yeah, and but that was the most impressive thing I've ever seen in my life, and I still talk about that today.
Yeah.
And I got our daughters and son went along, with us. It was just marvelous,
Yeah.
to have them go with it for chaperone.
That's neat.
For chaperones, yes.
That's neat.
Yeah.
And did you want to show this too?
Oh yeah, and then
Let me show it, and then you can tell us about it.
Got that for us through Hallmark. I thought it was so beautiful. She got those two pictures. That's when we were young, of course. Yeah.
Those are great pictures.
Yeah, isn't that great?
It's wonderful.
I think it is too. Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, Ron, what else? What other stories do you have? Can you think of anything?
Well, not really. I suppose there's a million of them, but I for some reason I can't really think.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, on behalf of everybody at Unity Hospice, first of all, thank you for your service. We love our veterans, and we feel very honored that we get to sit and talk to you guys and listen to your stories and make you a part of history. So thank you for your service, and thank you for letting me record you today. It was my pleasure.